Okay, so hey guys, it's Plots-A-Lot here with another My Hero Academia What If video, and today we're going to be doing What If Deku Was OP Part 3. But just before I begin, I'd like to apologise for the impromptu hiatus that I had. I was moving into university, I've managed to settle in now, I've been here for a month, everything's going pretty well. I might actually post a few kind of like little update videos just showing you what I'm doing with my life, but yeah, now I've got a much better quality microphone and I'm ready to start making videos for you guys again. I've been getting a lot of comments recently that, you know, what happened to your upload schedule, we want you back, make more videos, so I kind of feel obligated now. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off now because I've already dragged the video to almost a minute without starting, and yeah, I really do need to get started. So, in the previous part, we had Deku doing the exam. We had him doing the UA entrance exam, and I don't really think it needs to be said, but Deku absolutely decimates the exam, getting the highest score of all time on the exam with a massive number of combat and rescue points respectively. The first day of UA continues without much incident. When he gets there, everything happens pretty much the same, until Aizawa mentions the dreaded Quirk Apprehension Test, where he informs everyone that the lowest scoring individual will fail and be kicked out of UA on their first day there. Now Deku's feeling a bit nervous. His quirk is useful when dealing with combat, but after seeing the gym class-esque exams being conducted, he realizes that his quirk isn't too useful for this kind of situation. Deku's physical training throughout his life versus only training when he got One for All from All Might does pay off. His quirk allows him to more effectively channel his own strength, because he knows how to do that within his own body, he knows how to use his muscles better, and he can score reasonably on the tests, up until the ball throw. Deku steps up to the plate and gets himself ready. Everyone's watching as he throws the ball up into the air and starts to spin it between his hands, like one of those little marble toys, but way more quickly. And he spins it faster and faster. It revolves for the next few seconds, just there with him smacking it around until Deku steps back, and just as it begins to fall, he punches it into the air at a 45-degree angle to the ground. The rotation abruptly stops as the ball shoots off into the sky and out of sight. 347 meters, reads Aizawa. Bakugo smiles with a smug look on his face and walks up to Deku confidently. "Looks like I beat you this time, Deku, but we already knew that was going to happen, didn't we?" he remarks with more than a tinge of glee in his voice. "Your quirk is pretty amazing, Kachan. I'm sure to win next time, though," retorts Deku. As Deku walks away, he sighs, thinking to himself, "Thank God I didn't go all out right away. I sure would have made him upset." Uraraka follows behind him with a look of concern on her face. "Why didn't you use more of your quirk? I'm sure you could have done way more considering the way you took down that massive robot in the exam so easily. You could have just kept spinning it. You'd had no rush there," she remarks, sending Deku out of his own thoughts and into, quite frankly, a nervous wreck, quickly replying with, "Yeah, but my quirk is only good for the energy I can put in or get from elsewhere, and I'm not that strong yet." Aizawa, hearing this conversation, is suddenly interested. The results come through for the test, and Deku comes dead last, and "You're out, kid. Pack up your stuff and leave." Just as Deku's leaving the door, All Might approaches him. "You're the kid with the top score in the exam. Where are you going at this time of the day? You should have class." Deku, barely holding back tears, gives a half-hearted response. I'm kicked out. I didn't pass the first test, All Might," slumping away and just looking pretty depressed, pretty down in the dumps. I mean, his dream's been crushed by his first ever test when he actually gets there, and now he's been approached by his idol, the person that inspired him to be a hero, and it's not enough. He's leaving. Later that day, Deku's reinstated into UA by the principal by recommendation from All Might. All Might saw the video of him in the exam and recognizes his promise. He sees a similar quirk to One for All in this man, and he wants to see where he goes with this, and manages to convince Aizawa to reconsider his decision. Deku turns up for the next class to everyone's surprise. Aizawa abruptly interrupts their confused screams with a simple statement.
It was just a prank, bro.
Which the entire class collectively facepalms to, much to the bandage teacher's delight at using an absolutely stale, dead meme. Your day isn't over yet. You have combat training with All Might. Get yourselves ready in your hero costumes, says Aizawa, back to his usual deadpan selves, and sparking a big smile on the faces of the students. They're all excited. Your costume suggestions that you submitted have been custom made, so get dressed and head to the designated urban training zone ASAP, concludes Aizawa before slowly shuffling out in his bright yellow banana sleeping bag. Deku's costume is very different in this timeline, consisting of a large cape and elasticated webbings at his joints in order to intentionally maximize the drag that he'll experience when moving, and harness the resistive forces to his advantage, as well as allow for a primitive form of gliding that he's theorized could work. He hadn't managed to test it yet other than with a dustbin lid, and it didn't work too well, but with this much drag, he feels it might actually be possible. An additional feature added to his initial costume design is a thin layer of super light padding made from bound layers of aerogel. They're all connected together using a special polymer, and this creates a very thin, super light padding that is both heat and water resistant, while being nearly weightless and invisible, and acts as a fairly effective dampener for the extreme forces that can be exerted on the outside of his body from extensive uses of his quirk, with more material implemented at key joints such as the shoulder blades, knees and elbows to ensure minimal joint damage from overusage of his quirk during more intensive maneuvers. The final modification to his initial design is a Batman-style cape. It is connected to his regular cape but slightly separated, and this allows him to even further increase air resistance, but partially just because All Might used to wear a cape and he thinks it looks cool. It's Deku, for God's sake. It's a win-win situation for Deku, really. Deku steps out into the open with his costume, and Uraraka rushes towards him and grins, exclaiming, "I love your costume, Deku, it's so cool. You look like a younger All Might, but a bit less buff." I don't know why she sounds like that, just go with it. "Thank you, you look amazing," murmurs Deku, his face flushing with blood at the compliment he received, and also because he saw Uraraka, and he's just like that. It's just Deku, isn't it? The teams are announced, and Deku and Uraraka are up against Bakugo and Iida. Deku rushes in as soon as the exercise starts, with Uraraka behind him just managing to keep up, his eyes glinting with a fiery gold as an explosion roars around from the corner they're about to enter. An ecstatic Bakugo is all that stands between Deku's team and the stairs to the top of the building, where the mop bomb that they need to disarm is located. Deku already failed the first test, he's not going to fail the second one. Deku is a man on fire, he is determined. He will not lose this. Deku rushes around the corner. Bakugo launches himself at him with explosions from his palm, his feet just barely scraping the ground, leaving a trail of dust. Bakugo flings his leg up at high velocity, using explosions in opposite directions to rotate himself upwards and deliver what would have been a very strong straight kick into Deku's chin if he didn't jump back at the last moment. Uraraka slaps Deku on the back, providing him weightlessness. Deku uses this to his advantage and clings onto the ceiling, pushing himself down as fast as he can, and Uraraka releases her quirk just at the right moment. Deku's momentum is insane at this point, but just before he can contact Bakugo, Bakugo has already decided to defend, and Deku, being an analytical type, recognizes this. He stops himself in midair and translates all of his momentum into a sideways rotation, slamming his leg into the side of Bakugo's head, his arm just about managing to get in the way, but still smashing him through the wall, through multiple corridors, and almost out of the building. Bakugo is left unconscious, and Deku and Uraraka run towards the top of the building, but the fight isn't over yet. He might have incapacitated Bakugo, but he's still got another challenge to face. Now, Iida. Iida's a speed type, so it isn't exactly in Deku's best interests to attempt to fight him on speed terms, because he'd have to take time building that up. Whereas Iida can presumably, in Deku's mind, activate his speed much quicker. He's at a massive disadvantage here, and Deku knows that. He's got to take full advantage of everything that he's got here, and the best advantage he's actually got is to use Iida's speed against him. He taunts Iida to come towards him, and Iida's not stupid. He knows that if he rushes towards Deku, he'll redirect the force. So Iida goes for Uraraka, but Deku is also aware of this. Again, he's an analytically minded person. He knows he would go for Uraraka and not him if he taunted him. That was his goal. Now, Uraraka runs around the opposite way from Deku. What could be going on here? And the whole time that she's distracting Iida, for the second or two, Deku has started running on the spot. Just jumping and running on the spot and using every jump to store energy within his body. He's ready to do this. He's going to win this. Not just because he has to, pass the second test, but now he's seen that Uraraka has been taken. She's sacrificed herself for the cause. He knows that he's in this now and he's got to complete it, and there's no way he's losing to Bakugo again. He finally, after a second of jumping faster and faster and faster and using the momentum he was building up, he's been training for this. He knows that he needs to be able to get his energy quicker, and so he's been training for this just before he came to UA. He's ready now, and he charges with a big leap off of his front foot. Iida sees this. He charges towards where he expects Deku to be, but at the last second, Deku ducks down and translates his momentum into a slide, touching the bottom of the bomb and passing the test by a slim margin. Deku didn't want to overdo it this time. He's getting used to his new costume. He doesn't want everyone to be completely freaked out, and so he hasn't been using his full power the whole time, but it's still enough for him to win, because that's what this specific what if is about. It's about Deku using his smarts with a quirk that's overpowered in very general situations, but only with specific circumstances within them. And if you can figure them out, then this quirk is the most powerful one there is, because it literally lets you break the laws of physics. Alright, yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a like if you like the video, comment on any suggestions or any criticisms or anything really. Just comment in general. I mean, a lot of the comments I get are just dumb, like female Deku's best waifu. Comment that if you got to this point in the video. Female Deku best waifu. Hashtag bring back Hannah. Hashtag what if Deku was a girl part 3. Hashtag stop using fucking hashtags. It's not 2014. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye guys.